Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Yeah, it's a great morning.
How you doing, Skip?
If you're a Clipper fan.
No.
Hey, Doc's got a stanker going down in the basement right now. Have you been checking out those Clippers?
That same stinker that he gave 132 to the Sixers?
Wait a second. They held Oklahoma City to 94 at Oklahoma City. They're really good at home. They're hard to handle.
Well, how you give up 130 to a Sixers team without Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid?
Because it didn't take it seriously, but when it's time, it's like, boom.
Oh.
So, Jenny, we have dedicated this entire show to LeBron James, but the team to watch is the other LA team, just for the record. Now, let's
get it out there.
Here we go.
Get it out there.
Go, James.
This is a special show. We have so much to get to. Also, is Tom Brady to the 49ers becoming a reality? Plus, our Zion and the Pelicans being overhyped. But first, how about we talk about LeBron's memorable moment, shall we? The Lakers were led by Anthony Davis's 37 points last night, but it was LeBron who stole the show. Just minutes into the third quarter, LeBron pulled up and drained a 36-foot three-pointer from the R inside the Lakers logo at half court, similar to the one he hit Sunday against the Pelicans. After the game, LeBron was asked about the deep three. Take a listen.
My teammates see me work on it a lot, and I know I put in the work on it. I don't take no shots that I don't work on. I've never done it in my career, and so I feel like I work on it, and I trust my mechanics, and I'm able to let it fly with confidence, no matter what's going on in the shot clock.
When it goes in, it's a good one. And if it doesn't, it's a bad one. It's easy coaching here.
Easy coaching. Shannon.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't minimize that man's importance.
I know I will get to you on this one, but Shannon, do you like LeBron shooting 36-footers?
Yeah, do you?
I love him.
Oh, you love it? Really?
Pulled up from Tijuana.
Yeah.
Really?
Border
Patrol looking for him right now.
Really?
You can't fire shots like that in the DMZ.
No.
So I got him here at one of my stash houses. They looking for him. Yeah.
Your stash?
Yeah, he gonna fire a couple of more on Giannis on Friday.
Really?
Skip, look. He said, I will shoot no shot that I haven't worked on, I haven't practiced. My teammates see me work on those shots. Now, the one Sunday night might have been a little further than that, wasn't it, Skip?
I think it was.
But it's just something about those shots that's just disheartening.
Really?
You like, hold on, he got everything. It's like, Jenny's like the most beautiful woman in the world, and she's also the richest woman in the world. You can't give her everything. You gave her looks. She's charming. She has a wonderful personality. She can cook, and she's worth $47 billion. Huh? So you mean to tell me now, LeBron James plays downhill, durable as all get out, and now he can pull up from 40? That's not fair. Some people just have all the luck. I love this kid.
Some people have all day long.
Skip, this hurts. I know this is gonna hurt you, but he's working on something. Cause we got this thing. We've been brewing this thing for a minute. Yeah. It just came to fruition. It started just to bear fruit. We one of those kind of trees, Skip. It takes a while. You plant something, you sow it, and everybody so now in this generation, even millennials, they want instantaneous gratification. They just want to dive in glue. Oh, okay, that's what it is, huh? But that's not how Goat James and I work. We sowed these seeds many years ago, and now the trees are starting to bear fruit. Now this jumper that you said was ragged and that you said was broken is just booming. 35% from the three-point line. Yep. Skip, did you know on three-pointers of 30 feet or more, he's shooting 33%? That's the ninth best percentage of somebody that's taking 15 of those. I mean, he up there with Trae Young.
Ninth best?
Whoa, wait a minute. That's up there with Trae Young. That's with Ice Trae.
Yeah.
That's with Bertans.
Who's a really average three.
That's with Bertans. Is Bertans really average?
He wasn't last year.
He wasn't this year. He really average. Hadn't he won a three-point competition before?
Yep. Has LeBron ever tried a three-point competition? Do we expect LeBron next year in the three-point competition?
He just might.
It'd be nice.
He might just shoot just 4 pointers and win it that way, Skip Bayless. Look, the thing is that the reason why these shots are so wide open for LeBron, Skip, he still can get downhill. I do not, and like you said, Pop used to say, back off, you're still too close.
Can you believe that? He's a superstar, and the rival coach, who is the Bill Belichick of the NBA, is waving his defenders, just let him shoot those threes. He can't make them.
Yeah.
Really?
He can't, huh?
That disqualifies the GOAT conversation right there.
Look at AD. AD said, I know you ain't shooting.
Yeah.
Hey, still when he I don't know if you noticed this. If we got it again, watch AD, because AD is coming up beside him. AD just turned and start going back down court because he already know what time it is.
No,
Skip.
he just knew it.
Look at that, Skip. Look at this. Look at this, Skip. Watch AD. Look at AD. AD, stop. Stop Jenny Daniels tracks.
Right. He just knew it was good.
Bam.
Right.
So we going back up court. Skip, so because like I said, you don't want him to go by you. He still can get by you. Lay the ball up. He still can get by you. Flush on your head. Get by you. Kick the ball for threes. So you're willing to concede that. Skip, you will concede that. And you ask, well, why do you keep shooting so many threes? Because teams still believe that LeBron James can get past you. And so I would rather give up a 27-footer, a 30-foot three-point shot, as opposed to him driving the ball, laying it up, dunk it, or driving kick. So I'm going to give you that. That's why he's shooting so many threes. But he's working on that aspect of his game to get very proficient. I can see a scenario, Skip, that one day later in his career, probably like next year, the year after that, he'll be around 40% three-point shooter. Just like he's going to be a 75% shooter next year from the free throw line.
Really?
Yep.
How many cases of Diet Mountain Dew can we bet right here, right now, that LeBron James doesn't have a single season left in him at 40% from three? I will bet you 1,000 cases right now.
Oh, no.
1,000.
How about this? How about 37? 37% from three is good.
Oh, 37%. I think
Yeah.
it's 37 cases.
No. 37% from three.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No?
What's Skip? That?
Well, he's at 35 right now, right?
So I'm saying 37. But look how far just think where he would be if he wasn't shooting 40-footers. He might be at 38 right now.
Tell me when you're done.
I'm done.
Thank you. Here we go. Did I miss something? I might have. I don't
What'd you
know.
miss?
Maybe I fell asleep too early last night and there was breaking news. Is there a 4-point line now in the NBA? I need to know. Is there a 4? Did that shot that we see right there, did that count 4 or just 3?
Just 3.
So if you keep going farther and farther away from the 3-point line, every foot away, does that count? No, it doesn't count anymore. So you just make it harder and harder and harder and harder until you're finally on the logo.
Yeah.
You're on the R of the Lakers
Yeah.
logo, right?
Yeah.
And you get what out of that? What do you get from that? How does that help you on the scoreboard? It helps you 0, right? And I can make a very strong case that it detracts from your ability to score. So if the object here is to win the basketball game, that is a terrible shot, especially for that man. And it is terribly selfish for him to take it, given his history of three-point shooting, which is, I'm going to be nice about it, below average. Let's just look right here, right now, what that man is doing from the three-point line. That's way ahead. It's, what was that, 36 feet?
They making that up. That's way beyond 36.
Okay, so whatever it is, 40 feet, whatever it is.
Yeah, that sounds better.
That's like how many more feet past the real three-point line?
13.
At least 13, somewhere in that
I think it was
ballpark.
like 27.
Yeah, okay.
At the top of the key.
So LeBron right now is at 35% from three. Any three counts. You can have your toes almost up to the line, and that's just a three, right? So there are 50 players in this league who have attempted at least 300 threes, and that's pretty high volume at this point in the year. Remember, 50, 300 plus. LeBron is one of those. He is the 4th worst on that list at 35.1%. So he ranks 46th out of 50 three-point shooters who are considered high volume, 300 plus. Yeah. That's pretty terrible. And now you're telling me he's doing that to his team and to his coach, who really is a quote-unquote coach, so he can laugh it off and say, well, if it goes in, it's a good shot. If it doesn't, it's a bad shot. Coaching here is easy, and then he tagged on, it's a piece of cake. Well, it is when you're not really the coach, because what's he going to do? Tell him not to shoot that? Okay.
With anybody, Skip, with superstars, you don't tell them what to do.
Okay, I got it. So if the object is to win, that's a bad shot. That's getting worse by the foot going backwards. But if the object is to entertain, I'm going to give you this. That's a great shot because he has made a couple of them. He tried to make one to win the All-Star game. Remember that? That's when it all started. I think that's when the seed got planted. Here it is, where he just pulled up and tried to win the MVP out from under Kawhi. And I think he would have if that had gone in, because that would have won it.
I don't know.
Remember, that would have won it. And that's pretty close to a logo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's a logo.
He in the All-Star.
Right? He's on it.
Yeah.
Okay? So if the object is to enhance your own personal brand, that's a great shot. If the object is to inspire oohs and ahs on social media from your billions of blind witnesses, that's the perfect shot to take. That's better than a big slam, seriously, because that's a new deal. That's a Steph Curry special where you're saying, I'm in Steph's league here. I can shoot it from 40 feet, and I'm going to give you this. He looks good when he shoots that shot. Yeah. In fact, of all the shots he shoots on the floor, that's his best form because he's shooting it with the most confidence because there's the least pressure on that shot.
There you go.
No, well, that's what it is. Okay. He's always looking for the shot where there's no pressure because who expects that to go in?
I did.
Are you expecting it to go in?
Yes.
Okay, well, trust me. If I am a rival coach, I am coaching my team before the game, dare him to shoot it. Back off to the three-point line. Just stand at the three-point line and say, please be my guest out there, because he's going to be a 25, 20%. But I'm probably being like over nice to him. I don't think he can even make 20% of those.
Oh, let me ask you a question. When he made that shot, can you tell the people at home what the Sixers did that weren't able to see that game? What did Brett Brown do immediately after he made that shot?
I don't remember.
He called a timeout because it was getting out of hand, Jenny.
They're down 18 points. That made it an 18-point game. What good did it do to call timeout?
Timeout. Just a second, Skip. If Avery Bradley or Danny Green makes a layup, they're not calling timeout. But he saw the game when it started to get away. Not only did he make that one, Skip, he had made another three and a two and a layup. Mm-hmm. So at that point in time, he had it going. Let's try to slow this roll. You know what was happening.
Really think the Sixers are going to come back and win that game? Let's see. There's no Embiid. There's no Ben Simmons. There's not even a Josh Richardson. And you're telling me he's calling timeout because the game's getting out of hand?
Whoa.
It was out of hand at the tip-off.
Whoa.
It was.
That's the set. Hold on. Did they have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid when they got 130 against the Clippers?
Who won that game?
Oh, who won this game?
Well, it's same thing happened. The Lakers didn't take them seriously, and they fell behind by 14 in the first quarter, just the way the Clippers.
We got them.
Right?
Yeah.
And at least the Clippers, it was Shake Milton scoring 39. He got all of 14 last night.
Avery Bradley lock him up.
Back to earth. Yeah, because somebody said, let's take him semi-seriously.
Oh, no.
Right?
So now, you know what I'm starting to see, Skip? When somebody lights the Clippers up, they're not taking them serious. But when they lock down, you see what they did? You see?
Well, the game went exactly the same way. Clippers and Lakers against Sixers. It went the very same way. Listen, midway through the fourth quarter, the Clippers were up by 14. You like that?
We are up by 21. Okay. I mean, we went on a 23-2 run.
Hey, if Anthony Davis does that, and he's really good against the little teams, that's when he rises. He plays tall against the little teams.
What about your guy?
Yeah. Which guy?
Kawhi.
Yeah, he was spectacular last night.
9 of 20.
He took the game over.
He had 25 points, Jenny, but it took him 20 shots to get that. Really? You okay with that?
16 in the second quarter.
Are you okay with that?
He just took the game over.
Took what over?
They just locked up Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
Hey.
Really, Skip? Oklahoma City.
Yeah, go look at what they are at home. They're 20-12 at home. 20-11 going into last night.
Oklahoma City, did they have KD? Was Russ still there or Harden coming off the bench?
Are they not the surprise of the West this year? Are they? Yes, they are. They're a very dangerous team, especially at home.
The only surprise I got is when Kawhi plays.
So there was a quote from LeBron after the game, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but the point of the quote was...
What did he say?
He was saying, I work on my game. I grow my game. And now the game is being played farther and farther from the three-point line by other people, not by him. But he's saying in the end, I want to make sure I have no weaknesses.
Zero.
No weaknesses. Okay. So let's see what's happening here. There's another shot in basketball called a free throw.
Oh, there you go.
And it's all of 15 feet. So it's not 40 feet. It's only 15 feet. He is 69.3% from the free throw line this year. And of the 23 players who have attempted at least 300 free throws, because that's high volume, LeBron is 5th worst. So he's having another stinker year at the free throw line. He just stinks at the free throw line, given his GOAT status that you put on him, right? So if you look at it, think about weaknesses. For his career, think about this. For his career in the regular season and the postseason combined, LeBron James has missed 3,220 free throws. That's the 5th most all time in the NBA. 5th most, but look who's ahead of him on the list. They're all giant guys who couldn't shoot free throws. Wilt and Shaq. Dwight Howard is 3rd. Karl Malone's more of a power forward, but he's 4th. Then LeBron is 5th. And then it goes Duncan and Walt Bellamy. People
was Duncan any good? Yeah. I guess Duncan couldn't shoot free throws. Just the greatest power forward to ever live.
6'11", and then Kareem, and then Bill Russell, and then Elvin Hayes. All big, except for one guy who's 5th on that list, who's actually a 2-guard, now playing point guard. And he's missed the 5th most free. Would you believe that LeBron James has missed almost twice as many free throws as Michael Jordan missed in his entire career? Think about that. And he says, I want to have no weaknesses. That's a terrible weakness.
You know what, Skip?
Look at all the points he's left on the table.
All them points. Jenny, he's left so many points on the table. Can you believe that, Jenny?
He's shooting 40-footers. Way to go, LeBron.
Let me finish.
I'm impressed.
Okay. I get all that.
Yeah.
This is what I don't understand. Here's a guy that's left so many points on the table at the free throw line.
They're called free
throws. And here's a guy that's played more games than Michael Jordan, but has taken fewer shots than Michael Jordan and has more points. How does that happen, Skip?
One guy was an 88% free throw shooter, and one guy's a career, I'll give you 70%.
Okay. Michael Jordan shot 88%.
Yep.
LeBron James has played more games than Michael. How does Michael still have more field goal attempts playing fewer games?
I don't care. I was just talking about free throws. That's a whole nother issue, and I'll give you that one. You can go on.
So that's the GOAT. So he's the GOAT then.
He's the GOAT.
Okay, thank you.
So what do I always say about your man, LeBron James? Greatest attacker of the basket I have ever seen. I also always say he's the greatest passer of the basketball with the highest IQ. So that's a low IQ shot because he knows full well that's a bad shot. Given the fact, what did we just see him do to the New Orleans Pelicans twice in a row within 7 days? He destroyed them in the low post. He destroyed them by wheeling and dealing in the lane. Am I right?
Right.
Because he's unstoppable at the basket. He's still quick and strong as ever. And why would you waste possessions by shooting that shot? It's just a glamour shot. Watch this. It's a logo shot.
And everybody keeps saying the passes that Patrick Mahomes throws are waste. Why would you jump pass? Why would you throw no look? Why would you do all that? Because it comes in handy when you absolutely have to do it. So clearly you work on it. Skip, you just said, Greg Popovich said, back off, you're too close. Well, Skip, if a guy's standing in the paint, I can't drive the paint. I'm going to have to shoot the ball from outside. He's shooting the ball from outside. He's making it, and you still find fault. Why?
I'm not finding fault. I'm telling you from a positive perspective, he is virtually unstoppable when he attacks the basket.
He's unstoppable.
So why wouldn't you strengthen your strength instead of weakening your strength? That's what he's doing with that shot.
You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Really?
Yeah, so you strengthen your weakness.
Okay, so wait a second. If you're only as strong as your free throw shooting, then he's an average player.
Well, how did he do Sunday night?
69 points.
How did he do Sunday night? 3 for 3. Skip, first of all, you said if he drives the ball, he's unstoppable. Let me tell you when LeBron James is unstoppable. The moment he arrives at your arena, he's unstoppable.
Yep.
You're at his mercy. You're at his mercy, Skip Bayless, because if he can drive, look, we already know he can drive the ball, but you better not let that 3 ball go in. You better not let that happen, because if that happens, good night, Irene.
Yep, well, you better let him shoot the 3 ball. That's what you should do.
Let him.
You better dare him
to
shoot the 3 ball, because I can't wait on the next one of those, because it's going to be a big clank.
Guess what?
It's going to be a LeBrick.
Let me guess what?
You know it and I know it. And you know what happens when he makes a couple of those? He goes on this jag where he starts just jacking threes.
We go on a bender.
And here we go, and it's going to be one of those 2 for 15 benders for 3.
You know what a bender is,
You're going to be
right?
sitting up in your palatial estate in Bel Air, and you're just going to be pounding on the floor because you're going to break your TV saying, "What are you doing, King?
I might
be at
the game on Friday.
Yeah.
Me and Rich Paul.
Really?
Yeah, I might be at the game. Because you know what happens, Skip Bayless. He's liable to go on one of those benders. Now, it's been a while since he had a 50-piece. Now, he normally get them 50 pieces and leave no napkins because he makes a mess of somebody. So we're going to talk about this a little later. You thought this was a foregone.
So wait a second. Now it's Rich and Randy and Maverick and Shannon?
Yeah,
That's how it goes?
5 horsemen.
Really? The 5 horsemen?
Yeah, 5.
Really?
Yep.
Do they know that?
Yep.
Or, okay.
You know what? You got to bring those guys in here and have them
if
sit
you
here.
have these
You know, Rich,
relationships.
you know, I miss Rich. I miss him.
Rich says it's too early for him.
No, it's not too early.
It's too early.
He rises early.
Yeah.
The early bird gets the worm, and he gets all the worms.
Yeah. He's working on stuff right now. He's working on stuff right now.
Come on. Yeah. He and Maverick both, they can come in. Let's have them in.
Please make it happen,
Let's
Shannon.
kick it around.
Randy might be an option.
Randy's an option? Well, he's the quiet one.
Yes.
Right?
But he got a lot to say.
Yeah.
Skip, look here. At some point in time, you're going to have to just like realize what you're watching, that you will never, ever see this again. Now, see, I remember, rest his soul, my science teacher in the 6th grade, Prentice Burkhalter. He passed, Mr. Burkhalter, he passed. Now, he told me something was going to occur in 1986.
Yep.
Halley's Comet.
Yep.
He says if you get an opportunity, make sure you watch it.
Yep.
Because there's a great chance you'll never see it again.
Okay.
And guess what happened, Skip Bayless? At the ripe old age of 17, I saw it. Now, the likelihood of me seeing another one at 93, not very good. But I saw that one. Now, what you need to do over the next couple of years is you need to just take time and watch this.
I watch every dribble
This is
of every
Halley's
game. I don't miss a dribble.
This is Halley's Comet. You will never, ever see this again.
Well, then Halley's Comet must have been a bad free throw shooter too, right? I don't know, right? Because here's my last little note for you. He's working on that shot, he says. I don't do anything I don't work on. I never hear him talk about I'm working on my free throws.
Skip, you see,
this is the one portion of the free throw shooting you can't work on, but just for the record, he can make that shot with confidence. But this year, just in the fourth quarter and overtime, there are 36 players who have taken 75 or more free throws in the fourth quarter and overtime. He's 4th worst on that list. And below him are Andre Drummond and Gobert and Montrezl Harrell. Okay, so that's what you're up against. He's a liability at the late game free throw line, fourth quarter and overtime, but he's taken 40-foot shots for 40 feet. Think about that, 40 feet.
You said 36. You said there's 36 players on that list.
Yep.
He's the 4th worst in fourth quarter free throw percentage, right? Of the 31 guys or the 32 guys that's in front of him, who you taking over him?
I don't know, I'd have to look at it. Probably just
all
of them.
None of them.
You mean in the fourth quarter at the free throw line?
No, as a player.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. I'm sure I wouldn't take anybody.
Okay, then.
I'm not sure who.
Okay, then. You know what I'm saying, Jenny?
Yeah.
Goat James.
Yeah, I mean, but KD's not eligible to play.
Well,
right
okay, why are you breaking him up?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you give me KD, I'll take KD.
Well, KD can't play. KD isn't playing.
And I'll take Kawhi at the fourth quarter free throw line. I will.
Hold on.
He is deadly.
Now, you just keep telling me, when I tell you that, you say, Jenny, is there not a first quarter, a second quarter, a third quarter? You tell me that. So now you want to go just straight to the fourth quarter when it comes to free throws.
I'm just trying to put in perspective that he shoots that shot now with confidence. I like the way that one looked. And from 15 feet, only 15 feet, I see this.
No, you don't.
I do. I see
Skip,
it.
why you just can't accept that the man is beautiful? Why you got to try to critique and says, well, she's a bad driver? Why you got to critique that? She's
that's
beautiful.
A pretty big deal.
No, it ain't. You ain't got to ride with her. That ain't your guy. You don't cheer for him. That's my guy. And my guy is better than your guy. Fact.
Who's my guy?
You know who your guy is. The guy that's in the basement.
Yeah, that's my team.
He's knocking. He's creeping up. Yeah. You know, we got a big one on Sunday.
But your guy gonna get dealt with on Sunday. Your guy getting dealt with. And we got 3 cases right now. 3 cases.
Well, you should be able to win 1 out of 3, right?
No.
The odds are completely in your favor.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
True.
You just got skunked by them twice.
It's a home game for the Clippers.
Yeah.
I want 3 cases.
Let me see how I feel Friday.
Okay, couple more days to process.
Montrez turned his ankle last night. Twice he turned it, and I'm not sure he's going to be available.
Oh,
Let's see.
Hold on, what good is that? Hold on, we just won a game against the Pelicans without AD. Yeah. You mean to tell me with Kawhi, the best player in the NBA, the guy that the league revolves around, can't win a game with Trae Young?
Well, he's
without Trae?
our horse in the middle. Yeah.
Good news, we got a couple days to figure this out before I have any official bets, because we're going to have to put something on this one.
Oh, yeah, we got something on Giannis, too. We got something for Giannis, too, on Friday.
No mercy. Well, guys, as we learned, LeVar Ball has a lot of faith in his son Lonzo and the Pelicans. Yesterday on Undisputed, LeVar predicted that New Orleans will get the 8th seed and win the first-round playoff series against LeBron and the Lakers. However, last night, the Pelicans came up short against the Timberwolves, 139-134, and are now 3.5 games out of the 8th seed in the West. So, Shannon, what percent chance do you give the Pelicans to make the playoffs?
They got a better chance of missing the playoffs than they ever had of upsetting the Lakers if they were to make the playoffs. Skip Bayless, you know it. And LeVar said that bull jive because he knows there's no ramifications. He says that. They get swept. Well, they were supposed to sweep them. They got AD, they got LeBron, yada, yada, yada. But then, if they were to somehow, for some inexplicable reason, were to lose to the Pelicans, you remember LeVar said that. He said that back in early March.
I see.
No, he wasn't going to put nothing on it. He wouldn't bet nothing. Anything that meant anything to it. He wouldn't bet a thing on that, Skip Bayless. You know it. And I keep hearing about, man, the Pelicans, they worried about Memphis. You need to worry about San Antonio, who you're behind. Portland, who you're now behind. Everybody talk about, they got an easy schedule. Guess what? Everybody that got the Pelicans on their schedule said, yeah, we got an easy schedule too, because you own it. Skip Bayless, true story. When I went to Savannah State in 1986, the first thing I did, I looked, I was like, man, who we got for homecoming? Because I know everybody coming back for homecoming. And then lo and behold, I looked, hell, everybody's homecoming. We starting the season as somebody homecoming. So I'm looking for homecoming, you homecoming. Well, Pelicans, you looking at, look at this easy schedule. We got this, we got the Kings, and we got this. They looking at you like,
What was your record your first year?
I think we were 6-4.
Okay.
So you spoiled a few homecomings.
Couple homecomings.
Yeah, but I tell you what I did do. By the time I got to be a junior and senior, I bet you I wasn't nobody's homecoming. We're going to avoid them. And the only reason, they didn't want to see Shea. They didn't want to, that number 2, Jenny.
Were you homecoming king? I feel like I could have seen that.
But they were coming, people that ain't been to homecoming in years would come back and say, I got to see this kid. They say, I got to see him because I heard so much about him.
Can we get back on subject,
Yes,
please?
Skip Bayless. Now, you know good and well, it's going to be a struggle for them to even make the playoffs. Forget this far-fetched cockamamie idea that for some reason they could beat the Lakers. Skip, you knew that was going to happen. Even Skip Bayless, let me tell you what he did, Jenny. He don't think I saw it. Skip, when LeBron said that, they going to upset the Lakers. Skip turned to him, he do his jack. Now, LeBron, he knew that was some bull jive.
You may have called about just a little bit of that one.
Even Skip Bayless, as much as he would love to see that happen, he loves Zion. He know good well that's not happening.
Well, I don't want to lose the king the rest of the playoffs, right? We need the king.
Whatever, lose the king rest of the playoffs. You're not losing no king in the first. Hold on. Now, there's one thing that we do know. Now, the king, he might not win the title, but he ain't going out in the first round like somebody else I know. Somebody else I know in his first couple of years, he stayed out in the first round. As a matter of fact, he couldn't get out the first round until he got Scottie Pippen. I'm not going to even call, you know what, Jenny? I don't even know why I brought that up.
I don't either.
Because we talking about LeBron and the Pelicans and the Lakers. They're not going anywhere. And I told you this. Zion played unbelievable. Yeah, Skip, how you going to give up 117 points a game and talk about you going to the playoffs? You gave up 139 to a team without Karl Anthony Towns.
Thank you. Correct.
I can name one player on Minnesota, and I only can name him because he just got recently traded there, and that's D'Angelo Russell. D-Lo. That's the only guy. Skip, I couldn't tell you one other. I think they got some guy from Texas Tech they might have drafted. Other than that, Skip.
Jarrett Culver.
Skip, I can't name Skip, I can't name anybody. And you just got beat at home, and you talk about you going to make the playoffs. In what year? Must be 2021, because it ain't happening this year.
Okay. First of all, I happened to watch this entire game last night in Jenny's hometown. I wasn't there. I watched it via television.
18th win. Woo, woo.
It was the 18th win, and I'm with you. No, it wasn't in your own town. It was actually in
New Orleans and Pelicans.
No, I'm sorry.
You
I'm
were
backwards.
thinking about
Yes, I was
Minnesota.
thinking about you while I was watching your
Appreciate that.
team because your team played really well last night on offense. Neither team played any defense.
Nobody played defense.
Okay? And unfortunately, the Pelicans learned their first hard lesson since Zion has gotten healthy, and that is, in this league, as you can ask the Boston Celtics last night, you can't dismiss anybody psychologically. You can't just say, let's just show up tonight and it's okay. We'll get this. We just saw the Clippers struggle for a while with the Sixers, and we saw the Lakers struggle for a while.
2 weeks ago, Skip, the Clippers lost to the Grizzlies by 27.
Okay, all right. So who did?
The Clippers. They lost to the Grizzlies 2 weeks ago, not last week, a couple of weeks ago.
Well, you see these aberration games where somebody just doesn't show up, and all of a sudden they give up at home 139 points, which is completely inexcusable. If you're talking about being a playoff team, you can't give up 139 to a team that doesn't even have Cat.
No.
Right?
No. Yeah.
So what happened? We saw explosions on offense from the Pelicans, and I loved what I saw on offense because look at this. They had 4 out of 5 starters go 20-plus, right? And
no way you should lose that game.
Lonzo Ball's, he's balling, man, because he goes 26. He made 7 of 10 threes with 8 assists. That's pretty good. And Drew Holiday had a triple-double, 27, 10, and 12.
Right.
Well, if I give you those numbers before the game, you're like, okay.
And then throw in Zion.
Okay, with 25 and 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm here to tell you, last night, Zion had his worst game as a pro. He was just 10 for 19. And by his standards, that's 9 missed shots. Trust me, he missed 5 little bunnies at the rim and basically got outplayed at the rim by somebody named Naz Reid, who went undrafted out of LSU. And talk about balling. He was laying it on Zion last night. He was giving him fits in the paint because he was playing harder last night than Zion was. Okay, now back to our friend LeVar, and I must admit, I'd missed him. You know, I enjoyed having him back. I know he made 5 outlandish statements, but the one thing I've always respected about LeVar is there's always a little to a lot of truth in everything he says, except that his middle son's going to lead this league in scoring. That's the one. That lost me. That lost me. Okay, I can't go there. But maybe I'll eat those words at some point. Maybe I'll be shocked. And right after the show, they did finally sign the middle son to a G League contract in Oklahoma City. He was just on the practice squad of the G League team, and his father is sitting here predicting he's going to lead the NBA in scoring in 2 years, right?
It might take a little time.
Stop it. Okay, now back to his prediction. He's been right so many times that it did raise just one eyebrow to think, because he was talking about Lonzo. We've never seen Lonzo in playoff mode, but more important, in revenge mode, right? That would be revenge on LeBron for opting to, quote unquote, trade Lonzo, get rid of all those young kids for AD, and just on the Lakers in general for giving up on the kid that they drafted second overall. Okay, so I will give you that. Now, back to, do I think the Pelicans are going to make the playoffs? I do. Fox Bet right now still has them as the odds-on favorite to make the playoffs, last night notwithstanding. So when I step back from it, I say, are they going to get there? Because their schedule right now is third easiest of remaining, 21 games. And again, Memphis is playing the second hardest closing schedule. So I'm going to give them a leg up, but they're going to have to start now because 21 games are going to go pretty quickly.
They go real quick.
Right?
Yeah, they do.
And now LeVar has 21 games to try to speak this into existence. First, he's going to have to speak them into playoff existence, right?
Yes.
Before he can even talk about a 4-2 prediction. He predicted that the Pelicans will upset the Lakers in round 1, 4 games to 2 games. Okay, so now back to LeVar, and I'm curious to see what you say about this. I must say that I did see a different LeVar yesterday than the one we've had on 5 other times, right?
I agree.
A little mellower.
He seemed more measured.
A little quieter.
Yes.
Like he took it down an octave. I know there were a couple of outlandish, but in general, dare I say, he had a little humility, maybe a touch. He's had some rough things going on with Big Baller, and he's trying to resurrect it, relaunch it, right?
Yeah, he rebranded it.
Acknowledged that.
All right, he did.
Yes.
And he was pretty open about that. He showed some humility in that area.
True. Mm-hmm.
But I also appreciated the fact that he didn't go over the top about his youngest son, who I think is going to be the first pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if that kid winds up in New York, look out for not only the kid, but for LeVar, because LeVar's back on the map if he's in New York City, right?
Yeah, you're at a big map.
Woo!
Big map.
Biggest map.
Yes.
He said he likes the lights.
To me, I appreciated, he didn't say, my youngest is the next Michael Jordan. He didn't go there, right? I didn't get anything outlandish about his potential, except that, hey, he's now 6'8".
Right.
And he's really good.
And I found that very odd because he's always said that the youngest son would always be better than Lonzo, but yet he said Lonzo was better than Steph Curry. So if Lonzo was going to be better than Steph Curry and the baby boy is better than Lonzo, shouldn't he be better than Magic or somebody great?
Right. So in the end, I think he learned some lesson from what he did to Lonzo, because I've told you from the start, he painted the biggest target on that kid's back that's ever been painted on a 19-year-old coming into this league, 20-year-old, I think he was 20, right?
Right.
And I think he stunted Lonzo's growth in L.A.
Right.
And I'm so happy and relieved for Lonzo to be in New Orleans away from the father.
I totally agree, Skip, because I believe guys in general, they like Lonzo. They just dislike LeVar. Well, I can't get at LeVar, so I got to take it out on you. I got to take it out on your son. Yeah. It's kind of like, Skip, sometimes you get mad at a person. Well, I can't do nothing to the person. I'm going to take it out on your car. Yeah. Or I would do something. I would do, you know what I'm saying? I would do something to you I would do something to something you love to get back at you. But Skip, I don't know if you noticed this. Did you notice this? I was watching the game and I'm like, Lonzo, B.I., and Josh Hart was with the Lakers and LeBron last year. Mm-hmm. They go to the Pelicans, and LeBron beat them without AD. But y'all expected LeBron to take that to the NBA Finals, beat Golden State, and win the championship.
No, I just expected him to take that to the playoffs.
We're going to take
the playoffs.
How about this?
To the 8th seed.
How about we do this? How about we take it to 63 wins this year?
Okay.
63.
How about I'm in playoff mode last year. I'm activating.
He was hurt. Skip, he was hurt. Was he not hurt?
It was early activation.
But he was back.
No, he wasn't back.
Came back.
Skip, you say things. I mean, sometimes you just say things because, you want to get your mind. But he knew he wasn't right. You knew it. When that man blocked his shot, and you come in here gloat the next...
Mario Hezonja, Portland Trailblazers.
Never forget.
You come in here gloating, and you kept running it. All the low lights.
I'm tempted to run it again.
No, don't be tempted to run.
We retired it.
The man threw the ball up the back. Well, okay, Skip, but he was hurt. Is he hurt now? You see it just posterizing people left and right.
I don't know. He had a sore groin the other night when they played Golden State, so I guess he's nicked.
As True Holiday is his groin sore.
Really?
As B.I.
Well, then I got to ask you, was he just load managing?
Don't do that, Skip.
Well, he was.
Don't do that. No.
He needed a game off? I give him a game
Skip,
off.
it was sore. So in other words, you take the game off, you get that game off, you get another day. So you got a couple of days.
1,000%.
No, it ain't 1,000%. I mean, you just this far into a season, everybody got aches and bruises. Okay. Some just have more than others. But I tell you what's going to be bruised on Friday.
Really?
Giannis' butt gonna be bruised.
Bruises his ego and his pride.
But did you see AD? Boy, AD got that thing going last night. Everybody like, ooh.
When AD smells blood against a little team without
stars,
boy, he can go. He can rise and shine.
Yeah. Oh, it's just crazy how far the Lakers have come. Remember last year, all the negative energy, the missing the playoffs
all the negative talk.
And here we are. Oh, how quickly things change.
And we're only in March.
Don't do this, Skip. Don't
get ahead of yourself. Okay, I won't go there yet.
No mercy.
Tom Brady, as he mulls over his future, there was a report yesterday that, the Brady to the 49ers talk is actually real from both the San Francisco and New England side. The Niners would have to send Jimmy Garoppolo back to the Patriots, which the report says Bill Belichick would like. That part doesn't necessarily surprise me, but Shannon, can you see this happening for real?
No, Skip, like I said, and we've been going back and forth since you and I came to the realization that Tom Brady, I'm a little bit sooner than you, but I think I even convinced you that Tom Brady is not coming back. What I can't get people to help me understand, You gave Tom Brady $8 million on top of his $15 million salary to make it $23 million. Why didn't you just extend him 2 years? If you thought he could lead you to where you wanted to go, he has shown no signs of play dropping off. Why not just extend him 2 years if we're not even having this discussion?
Okay, then the joke's on New England. That's their fault, right?
Because Coach Belichick says, I know what you don't know. I'm seeing practice. I'm starting to see a lot of more missed practice time.
Right.
I don't see
Good.
I don't
luck
see
to you. Yep.
Coach Belichick don't need luck. Coach Belichick, I trust. He said, I put a historic defense around him. And any time that we couldn't get to 17 points, hold a team to 17 points, we bit the bullet. We bit it. We bit it, Skip. Why is that? You mean to tell me a GOAT can't get me 18?
So I want to get this clear from you.
Yes.
You're saying right here, right now, Tom Brady has hit the wall. He's finished. He's done. He is washed completely up.
I'm saying if you don't give Tom Brady, Derrick Henry, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Julio Jones, and give him a top-flight offensive line, yes. Well, if you didn't give him all that, hell, Peyton Manning could come out of retirement.
Okay, so you're saying he's done because he's not going to have all that.
Win a Super Bowl. Yeah, he win some games. You talk about Super Bowl, because here's the thing now. We measure Tom Brady by Super Bowls. There's certain players, Skip, like LeBron. You don't worry. Yeah, it's nice to win 60-plus games and yada, yada, yada.
Okay, so just hypothetically,
yes.
If Tom Brady winds up as the 49er quarterback going into the 2020 football season, you're going to give them no shot.
They're not winning.
Okay?
No, they're not winning, and he's not going there. I said, look, I believe India is the best option, but I said if I had to put some money on it, I'll put $50 he'd go to Tennessee.
Okay, fine. I believe this is going to happen because, as Dion said the other day, it just makes too much sense.
To you and him.
I tweeted it in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Tom Brady should be a 49er. It's too bad he wasn't a 49er this year because they would have a championship trophy.
Might not have got there.
Lombardi.
What if they hadn't gotten there with him?
Okay, well, you can argue that, but I'm going to argue strongly the other way. First of all, I'm going to give you this little scenario, just a little nugget for you.
Okay.
And I brought this up before. In 2020, the 49ers can get out from under the Garoppolo deal if they so choose. Just keep this in the back of your mind. None of Garoppolo's salary is guaranteed until April 1. And if he's released prior to June 1, the move would save the 49ers $22.4 million in cap space. So they could effectively just cut bait.
They could.
They could just let him walk
right
into the sunset, onto the open market, let him go wherever he wants to go. Maybe he would go back to New England. But they could do that and save a ton of money because the deal is totally team-friendly.
Well, they front-loaded it. Okay. And a lot of people looked at it like, what are you doing? But it seems like they knew what they were doing because now, like you said, they can get out from under it with very little ramifications.
Very little. And if you want to keep the deal in place and trade him, and again, you only gave up a 2 to Belichick for him, so it wasn't a staggering price that you paid to begin with.
First and the third.
You didn't give up, like you didn't take Jimmy G second overall or first overall, where you said, we bet the future on him. No, you didn't do that. So he's got 3 years left on the current deal that you can just cut bait on, but the 3 years are at $25.2 million, $25.5, and $25.6, all lowball deals, right?
That's easy.
It's just easy. Like we're talking about Dak, is it 34, 35, 40, you know, like, right? And Jimmy G stuck for 3 more years at $25 million. So the point is, it's not undoable. In fact, it almost screams, do it. Because what did we see in the postseason? We saw a head coach who did not trust his quarterback. Right?
Yeah, and I saw a head coach that trusted his quarterback and he threw a pick 6. And he couldn't get him in the end zone on him.
Okay, so wait, is that the same head coach whose quarterback put him in position in the final regular season game with a 70-yard drive to put you up 24-20 with 3:50 left in the game, and all you had to do is stop Ryan Fitzpatrick from going 80 yards for a touchdown. That's all you have to do, and you are the 2 seed. You're going to get 2 weeks off and 1 home game to get to Baltimore, as we all thought was going to happen, to right the wrong of the Sunday night loss. It's perfect. Tom Brady did that with the worst supporting cast he's ever had in New England, and you're telling me that he had a bad year? That's a great year given the degree of difficulty.
Skip.
Perfect.
Skip.
And Belichick's defense spit the bit.
Skip. I mean, you talk about a defense that still gave up average 14 points a game.
They gave up an 80-yard drive that cost them the 2 seed.
But what about the pick six that Tom threw?
Okay, he overcame it with another game-winning drive.
Well, he wouldn't have had to overcome it because he gave them a touchdown that they didn't deserve to have.
Okay, but he did what he always does.
Okay.
What he will do next year for the 49ers.
Okay, but Skip, you still had the home game in the playoff. Forget the 2 seed.
Yep.
You still had a home game. Let's talk about Tennessee. Okay, how did he play in Tennessee? Now, we've seen 2 playoff games, Skip, in the last 2 years.
Hey, I want you on record. He's finished. That's all I want. Because I say he's got 2 more Super Bowls left.
No.
Yep. Give him just a semblance of a sporting cast. And San Francisco's really got a semblance. Look out. With that run game and give him Kittle and give him Debo and Emmanuel, look out above, because here they'd come.
Well, they can't run their offense.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't run no boots and waggle. He's not mobile to get outside the pocket and throw.
Well, Jimmy G can run it so great that in the second half against Jenny's Vikings, they let him throw 6 passes. He went 3 for 6 for 26 yards. And then in the second half against Green Bay, he was 2 of 2. 2 of 2. That's pretty good. 6 of 8 for the whole game because they just said, keep the ball out of his hands. And then the 49ers got in trouble in the Super Bowl, and finally Kyle Shanahan, to his detriment, said, you know what? I got no other hope here. I got to let Jimmy G try to save me. And in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, Jimmy G went 3 of 11 for 36 yards with an interception. And you know and I know he cost them that game that Tom Brady would have won for them.
Skip.
It's as simple as that.
The 2 games that you mentioned, the Green Bay and Minnesota, they couldn't stop the run. So why am I going to throw the ball if I can just turn around and hand it off and Mostert and those guys can go get 7, 8, 10, 12 yards a clip? Why would I run it? Why would I throw it? Excuse me.
If you really believed in your quarterback and what you do on offense, you're going to go 50-50 right.
Do you remember do you remember right before the half, Coach Belichick with a minute and 30 took a knee? Do you remember that?
Yep.
That's your quarterback. That's the GOAT.
That was probably another seminal moment.
The GOAT.
Where the death knell sounded for Tom Brady in New England, where he's thinking, okay, that's it, I'm out.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Yep.
That's your guy, the GOAT.
Yep.
Coach Belichick says, I've seen enough.
Okay, and I say good luck to Bill Belichick. I want to see what you can do without him.
Skip, I get, let's just say for the sake of argument, you and a lot of other people are correct. Are you willing, because you know what's going to happen. Coach Belichick tried to prevent this. He said, yes, I love winning Super Bowls, but if I win another Super Bowl and then I got to go 25 years like you have without one, Skip, what good is those 5 Super Bowls doing the Cowboys right now? Because you're trying to get that. So you get Tom Brady for a year, and you, for some ungodly reason, you do win the Super Bowl. But then you have another 25, 30 years of perpetuity. You okay with that? So you should be okay with Dallas not winning none. So
Well, I got to tell you, right now, Jerry Jones would be the all-time laughingstock, if not for 3 Lombardis sitting in his office. 3.
Yes.
So he did that. You can't take it away. And they're hard to win, as you well know. They don't grow on trees, and they don't come around every year.
Nope.
And when you have a team on the verge like the 49ers facing the Super Bowl losers syndrome, which can just send you right down the toilet.
But hold on. You do realize, Skip, in 91, they lost to Detroit. Right?
I was there.
Okay.
38-6.
Jerry Jones didn't say, well, Troy can't get it done. Let me go get me another quarterback.
Well, Jimmy had already said Troy can't get it done because he went with Steve Berline all the way through the playoffs and started that game with Steve Berline.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
And you see what happens? Sometimes you just stick to the process. Everybody wants this instantaneous. Nobody wants to cook, Jenny. Everybody want a microwave. But O'Shea Sharpe cooking. I cook pancakes on a Saturday.
I think you're cooking Tom Brady right now.
Yeah,
Cooking him till he's just done.
Skip, I didn't do this. Father Time did this.
Really?
Yes. You know, Skip, you know he's not the same guy.
I can't wait. Tom Brady challenged elsewhere.
I love it.
You put those things together, look out.
I've never in my life ever heard Tom Brady needs this, this, and this. They've always said Tom does more with less than anyone.
Yeah.
Now he needs a receiver.
Until his receiving core is dead last in the league in separation.
But you never you never gave that receiving core credit. The only receiver, the only receiver you've ever had is Randy Moss. You didn't give Wes Welker. You didn't give Hogan. You didn't give Amendola. You didn't give Edelman. They never got credit. Now Tom Brady looks like he looks. It's their fault.
I used to give Edelman credit.
No, you
I
didn't.
told you he's in the Hall of Fame conversation. And yet last year, broken down shell. Last year, led the league in drops.
Skip, you wanted to give the Super Bowl MVP to a guy that threw for barely 200 yards with no touchdown.
He pulled off the game-winning drive in a 0-0 game. What are you talking about? It was that kind of game. It was a defensive struggle on both sides. He's up against his nemesis, Wade Phillips, and a Rams defense that was hot as any defense in football at the end of the year. You know it, and I know it.
And what'd you got to do? What'd you got to do? Even though he had that drive, Jenny, barely 200, a pick and no tubs.
5 for 5 and a pass that was almost a touchdown, went 29 yards to Gronkowski down to the 2.
And even with that, he had a 36 QBR. So even with 5 completions in a row, he still had a 36 QBR.
Yet another fourth quarter game-winning drive in a Super Bowl for Tom Brady, 6 out of 6.
But guess what happened? He wasn't going against Jared Goff. But when he went against Lamar Jackson, he went against my homeboy. What happened, Skip?
What's about to happen is the 49ers at 12:01 on March 16, 12:01 a.m., they're going to be they've already been on the phone to Don Yee, the agent, because you know and I know they have had back-channel discussions.
Everybody's having back-channel discussions.
I like it. I just like that we were talking about it before everyone.
Yeah.
That is correct. And I'll throw one last caveat. That kid, Nick Mullins, he impressed me when he stood in for Garoppolo when Garoppolo hurt his knee.
Okay.
And he went 3-5 and 8 starts. But he threw for 285 a game. He had 13 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. He was good enough that you'd say, okay, we at least have some semblance of a backup plan. If Tom hits the wall next year and we completely screw this up, at least you got Nick Mullins, right?
Whoa. You can't tell me we're about to go on this great voyage and this old captain, and you tell me the second captain, he might be okay if the first captain goes down. Hell no.
What I'm saying is you got a guy who he started 8 games for you. That's pretty good.
I don't care nothing about that. No, Skip Bayless, you had me put all my eggs in this one basket, and you send me on my way to the market. Now you tell me if I stumble, everything's going to be okay? Oh, no.
Just remember, Tom Brady grew up 20 minutes down the freeway from Candlestick Park, a huge 49er fan. Just remember that.
I also remember, Jenny, he grew up 20 minutes away from Candlestick Park 43 years ago. You remember that? 43, Skip.
The clock is ticking.
Yeah, okay.
March 18th.
Clicking on Shay Sharpe.
12:01. Yeah, it's clicking on you. Every year, you're just down.
Shannon.
You're down. You should have learned your lesson.
Jenny, you need to come in my camp, Jenny.
I'm on Tom's team.
Shannon, he's haunted you for 4 years.
No.
It's about to be 5.
My homeboy got him back.
5.
Because I told you, after they lost the championship game, I said, my homeboy get him back next year. And what my homeboy do?
Well, he threw a punt on 3rd and 15. I don't know.
Either way.
I'm talking about what he do to Tom. I ain't talking about the Super Bowl.
We'll get him another time.
No mercy.
So for the second straight month, LeBron was named the Western Conference Player of the Month. In February, he averaged 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists in 10 games. LeBron is the first Laker to win the award in consecutive months since Kobe Bryant did it in the 2008-2009 season. So only appropriate that I start with Shannon. Did LeBron deserve it?
And when Kobe did it, Kobe was like 27, 28.
Really?
My guy doing it at 35.
Oh, I thought he was 43.
Don't do that, Skip.
Oh, okay.
You know, we talk about Burger King. Skip, did you know for my rookie year, I used to eat a croissant sandwich and French toast sticks every morning for breakfast.
They had him back in the dark ages?
Back in the dark days? They haven't evolved since then?
There you go with some jokes, Skip Bayless.
I liked it.
In all honesty, Skip, I really thought Russell Westbrook was going to win this award. I thought I brought it up to you yesterday, Skip, considering what they had been able to do and what Russ was doing. Russ averaged 33, 6, and 7. But he did miss 3 games. And Russ played 8 games, LeBron played 10. And so I really thought that, I was like, man, Russ going to win this award. But then when you look at it, what he did in a couple of those games without AD. Whew. 26, 8, and 10. First Laker to win consecutive since old Kobe Bean. Rest your soul, Kobe. The only two guys that won multiple Player of the Month, Greek Freak and GOAT James. We got ourselves an MVP race over Skip. We got ourselves an MVP race though.
I thought you told me the other day it was over.
Hey, Giannis doing, look, at the end of the day, if you want, let's be real, Skip. Giannis won 60 games last year. If you don't mind me asking, how many games did the Lakers win? What seed was the Lakers? They weren't the seed, Jenny. And the GOAT James got them in going to be the number one, because all these years LeBron was in the East. Oh, boy, if he was in the West, he wouldn't even make the playoffs. Now he's in the West, messing with the West, the number one seed, and y'all want to poo-poo it now. Well, he got Anthony Davis. You told me Anthony Davis wasn't that good. You wasn't Anthony Davis. Well, what did he do in New Orleans? He never elevated that team.
Sub 500. The whole
okay, now so that should even accentuate it even more. I love Brown. Everybody should be happy with the trade, the Pelicans and the Lakers. But GOAT James, Skip. I mean, you, Skip, even the staunchest guy that goes against old GOAT James must be impressed with what you're witnessing. To see this on a nightly basis, imagine if he had a type of season like old Tom Brady. You be calling for the man to retire. You be calling for him to retire, but instead he's having a Lamar Jackson, a Patrick Mahomes type season.
Yep. So I was with you until I looked harder at what happened in the month of February. I just sort of assumed it was Russ, and more Russ, right? Because they just took off, and they went 7-1, and yet he's been load managing quite a bit.
He has.
You don't rip him. You only rip my guy.
Well,
Why?
Skip, Russ legitimately has had major operations on those knees.
Okay. And he legitimately plays his tail off.
I don't see that. I don't see that from you know who.
Yeah. I do, actually.
No,
you could have
don't.
seen what Kawhi did to Thunder last night on defense. He just destroyed him on defense.
Who they got, Skip? Skip, who do they have? Did they got KD?
Have you been watching Chris Paul? He's had like a resurrection.
Skip.
No, he's an all-star. He's a star.
He is, Skip, but he's also 6 foot tall. So if you get a defender that's 6 foot 8.
Have you been watching Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? He just takes over games. Seriously. Have you been watching Gallinari? Steven Adams? Hey, listen, all of them. They're a basketball team. They're deep. Schroeder is a handful when he comes off the bench.
They're a nice surprise.
Shock of the West.
Yes.
Shock of the West. So back to Russell. Then I start looking at what he didn't do in the month of February. He didn't have a single triple-double. It's like the triple-doubles have fallen off the map.
Right.
Now he's concentrating on driving and scoring.
Right.
Yeah. 33 a game. That was best in the West. LeBron was at 26. But after the 33, it goes down to 7 rebounds and 6 assists, which are low for him, given what he just averaged a triple-double for 3 straight years, right?
You're right.
So it's hard for me to get overly excited about that. The best thing he did in the month of February, he quit shooting threes.
Yes.
So he was 8 of 20. So he attempted only 23s in 8 games.
That used to be 2 games for him.
That's what I'm saying. And yet LeBron attempted 75 in the month of February, so it's 75 to 20. LeBron shot his usual 36%, not all terrible, just kind of mediocre. But
that ain't mediocre, that's really good.
But then when I look at the bigger numbers, LeBron goes 26, 8, and 10 with 2 triple-doubles.
Yeah.
So he had 2 and Russ had no triple-doubles. And I start thinking, okay, it's a close race.
It is. It was.
That's a battle.
Yes.
And yet, the Lakers did go 8-2 to 7-1, and LeBron did play another. He played longer, more minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So finally, I just said, okay, I'll give that to LeBron.
And I think I don't know how they vote. Maybe it's the writers. I don't know how they do it, Skip. But they're upset with these guys load managing. It's ticking people off.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who votes for this. I tried to look it up this morning. I think it comes mostly from the league office.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's them. They nominate candidates, and then I'm not sure if people vote or not. I'm not.
Well, I'm sure the league office is upset with this load managing.
Well.
Right.
Especially, Skip, we're in a national window, and all of a sudden the superstar, you find out an hour before the game that the superstar isn't playing. So that I'm sure that probably rubbed the NBA the wrong way.
Okay.
But like I said, Skip, look, if they had given it to Russ, Skip, I'm not going to stand up here and say, man, LeBron was robbed on this one. I wouldn't have done it. 34, 7, and 6, it's hard to argue. But when you look at LeBron playing and they played some of these games, Skip, without AD.
They did.
So that I think that weighed heavily into it. And plus, the GOAT just been phenomenal all year. He's just been GOAT all year.
I give you that. He has been phenomenal given what I thought we were going to see. He's been way better than I thought. And now the message sent probably from the league office is we need him to be the face of our league again. Because last year he fell off the map, right?
Yeah.
They weren't even in the postseason last year.
But guess what? You think there's something? Where did you see this encore? Encore playoffs is the encore, Skip Bayless.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I do feel sorry for poor Giannis because poor Giannis is going to get really robbed of the MVP.
Oh, there you go.
Because it's over. You can just feel. This was all you needed to know. This is the springboard just happened right before your very eyes. Back-to-back player of the month. Yeah. Not for 12 years has that happened in the Western Conference.
Well,
not since
that is
Kobe
crazy.
did it. That's impressive.
I mean,
But now the skids are greased. Here we go into MVP drive for LeBron. The media wants it. The league needs it. For TV ratings, we need to promote LeBron back onto the throne. And I think they're going to elevate him at the expense of a guy in Giannis who is simply on a pace to set the all-time record for player efficiency rating. That's staggering to me, and nobody cares. But that's true. He's on the pace to break the record. LeBron is 11th in PER. And right now, Giannis is number 1 in defensive efficiency rating. Number 1 in the league of all the players. So he's arguably the most efficient offensive player and the best defensive player. And you're telling me LeBron is starting to pull away an MVP? He is. I get it. But it's storyline. Storybook story.
That's how sports work.
Okay?
It's just not good enough. Nobody cares about wins and losses.
I got
What's
it.
the story behind the win?
I got it. And I think a lot of those voters got left with egg on face last year after they just shooed Giannis in for MVP, and then he shoos right into the Eastern Conference Finals and disappears, right?
Yeah.
They go up
2-0.
and they lose 4 straight games, and he shrank to about 6'2" at the end of that, right? Okay, and it makes it's like embarrassing to people who voted for you. You're the league MVP, and that's all you got against Toronto.
Let's give old GOAT. Goat was special.
Yeah.
I mean, GOAT's been special this year.
Yes.
Skip.
Yeah. But you know what's the most special to me?
What?
I'm more interested in who's the player of the month in June.
Oh,
June.
That's the month.
That's all that matters.
Oh, that is all that matters.
Who will be the
now that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
I've conceded regular season MVP to LeBron. I give you that. It's great. It's great for everybody involved. It makes you happy for a little while, and I feel good about your happiness just for a little while, and then
what?
Then you're going to
So
get
nice
the
of you.
rug jerked right out from underneath you by the team in the basement. Just the
happens.
way he did it on July the 5th when he said,
We got something.
I'm not going to you, I'm going to Doc.
What we're going to provide for you on Sunday is a snippet, a summation of what it's going to be like when we beat the brakes off you coming to Western Conference Finals.
Will it look anything like opening night?
Little preview.
Sunday.
Yeah.
It's in prime time. Now, you make sure that you don't have anything, said everything. If Ernestine want to go somewhere, you don't go nowhere.
She can go.
I don't want you to.
I'm not going.
Let me come watch the game.
might
I'm
wanna
coming to
watch
watch
this
the
one.
game. I'm coming to watch the game with you. Skip.
I'm not.
My TVs are out. My TVs on the
I
grid.
watch alone. Maybe Hazel.
Okay.
Maybe
The
Hazel.
idea of you
You go in your little
watching that
office.
game
I'll watch in the
together
living room.
sounds
You'll watch in the
perfect.
living room. That's the way Ernestine does. She sits right around the corner in the living room.
Yeah.
She yells to me, "Did you see that?"
Actually, have you guys ever watched a game together?
No.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't want to watch the game with me.
It could be kind of fun.
It's not like I do a whole lot of talking. I might be doing a little tweeting.
No, never talking.
Yeah.
No talking on your side either, right?
It might
Just
inspire me
sitting
to
there.
say a word I don't want to say.
I need a behind the scenes of you two watching a game. I could moderate the game watching.
Skip,
That would be something.
You be in your office. Ernestine and I, we gonna be sitting on
You
we
can do that.
we gonna be talking about the game. That was a good play with Ernestine.
Yep.
You're like, yeah.
right.
Skip, did
I
you see that
wouldn't
one?
even let her watch the Kawhi game with me last night. I'm around the corner in my office.
Why?
And she's sitting in her recliner and she yelled, "Did you see him do that?" Yep. I did.
I saw Kawhi miss that dunk. Did you see Kawhi miss that dunk last week?
Got fouled.
You only
No, he
see
didn't
the
skip. He didn't get
negative.
fouled.
You only see the negative.
No mercy.
So Trae Young isn't backing down from what is becoming his signature move of dribbling between defenders' legs. After receiving a forearm shove from Trevor Ariza and being told to never try that bleep again, Trae told reporters that he won't stop pulling off the move. He also tweeted out a highlight video of him dribbling between defenders' legs and said, "Been in my game my whole life. Why stop now? Just close your legs." Not going to offend anyone. Shannon, do you like that he tweeted this?
Loved it. That's what I told. What I tell you, Skip? Your base too wide. Close your leg. Skip, first of all, we're going to be generous and say Ice Trae is 6 foot tall. You and I both believe he might be a little shorter than that.
Probably is.
Skip, he's always had to do this, find a way, try to find creative ways to get around guys that were bigger, that were probably quicker than he was. So what would he do? Dribble the ball between the guy's legs. That's it, Skip. I mean, and for Trevor Ariza to take this kind of offense, but what it is, Skip, is because Trae is small and he's a rookie. See, that couldn't have been me. He wouldn't have did a 5-year. If a 5-year guy, if Jimmy Butler does that, he doing that to Jimmy Butler? No. But you try to take advantage of Trae Young, talking about, oh, don't do that bleep to me. Well, I'm gonna do it again to you. See, I'd have had my game to been Charles Oakley. See, I'm the enforcer. Because I ain't taking no jack from nobody. And then, first of all, Skip, you going to shiver me in my chest. Then after the game, you going to grab me in my collar and pull me, talking about, man, I wish you might. Keep doing it, Trae. Dance on him. That's what I would have done, Skip. And guess what? That and where you know how to get the ball, you get in your defensive stance, I'll be dribbling it off his head and shoot a 3 right in his face. And like, yeah. Get the crowd hype in Atlanta because they love that in the highlight factory.
That's all they got.
Skip, you know that man, right? That was unnecessary what Trevor Ariza did. And you know it, Skip.
I don't know it. The nerve of this kid. Just when I thought maybe it'd be lesson learned.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because Trevor Ariza is highly respected. This is his 16th year in this league, and he did win a ring with Kobe Bryant. And he's been around. Been through lots of battles. Tough guy coming up through west side of Los Angeles, UCLA. Highly respected. He'll fight you. If you want to fight, he'll fight. And he was trying to send this kid a message. You just can't do that to me.
Why?
Because it's a hot dog move. It's a show-up move. It's a show-off move that, again, Trae's saying, well, I've been doing it my whole life. Well, now you're playing with the biggest boys.
Right.
Okay?
And he's still doing it.
Yeah. And I thought maybe lesson learned, and it was lesson not only ignored, it was scorned. Yeah. Lesson scorned.
He like, right? I doubled down.
He doubled down. I'm going to tweet this. I'm going to tweet my other nutmegs that I've been doing. And
you got DeAndre Ayton last night with the same move.
I mean...
All right. And yet, just go do something before you want to do this. Go show me something. Go earn something before you try to back it up on Twitter and double down. Show me something that's real. Go win some games. They're 19-44. That's the second worst record in the Eastern Conference. This is what happens to a kid when he gets voted into being an all-star starter. And by the way, the all-star voted starter sat the whole fourth quarter because they just said, no, let's go with Kyle Lowry. We want to win the game.
They started Luka sat the entire fourth quarter.
Luka, same deal. I'll give you that. Bingo. But the point is, this kid leads this whole league in turnovers, and he gets away with it because he's all they have to sell in Atlanta. He's a sideshow. So talk about green light. He's got the green passing light, and he's a gifted passer. He is. But he'll just try any old thing at any moment. And if it gets kicked around, knocked up into a turnover, who cares? I tried it. I'll show you something, and maybe he'll pull off 4 or 5 plays a night that'll be worth the price of admission.
But Skip, basketball, look, yes, you're trying to win a championship, but it's entertaining. It's entertainment. And I'm trying to entertain you. So I got to get, Skip, you're not making no highlights. You're not getting no max contract, 2-hand chest passing the ball, bounce pass to somebody on the break. That's not happening.
Maybe win more than 19 games, maybe?
Hold on.
If you do it the right way?
Skip Bayless, you make it seem like it's his fault they losing all these games. Give him a little more help. Give him a couple of years.
But if he's that guy, they would be better than 19 wins at this point.
Well, maybe if they didn't have him, they'd be worse than that.
So he's attempted the 5th most three-pointers in the league, and he's missed the 4th most because he's just an average three-point shooter. But he will jack. You want to talk about logo launches?
But I tell you what he can do: nutmeg everybody.
Yeah,
and he's about to get Trevor Reed.
nutmegging.
Yeah, I love it.
A little more of a soccer thing, in my opinion, than basketball.
Yeah, when you got that wide base and you're standing upright, what am I supposed to do if I can't get around? You like this here, Jenny? What am I supposed to do?
When your neck is exposed, I might just take a shot at your Adam's apple, right? If you're not going to keep your chin down, young man, I just might pop you right in the Adam's apple.
You did that with Trae.
Yeah.
That's what he did with Trae. But a real one, would he done that with Matt Barnes? He done that to Steven Jackson?
No, but Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson would have done just that to Trae Young. I know them both. They would have done it.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Skip, that was unnecessary. That was unnecessary.
The tweet was a little much, though?
No, tweet it. He should have said, ... I'm talking to you, T.A.
It puts a target on your back.
Yeah, it does. But this is what happens when you're empowered by 2.5 million IG followers, right? That's what happens. This was a tweet, but he's got people. You just know he's just steady on his phone. Trae, fire back at him. Fire back. You got this.
But here's the thing. Let him have done that to LeBron James. Skip Bayless have been on top of the table. Jenny, we'd have been running it. We'd have started the show with it.
He would not have been on top of the table.
No.
What?
No.
The man got his shot blocked. The rim blocked it. Yeah. He threw the ball in the back, Roy, Jenny, and we said, you asked, could we please stop running that? It was a low light.
By the way, I hold LeBron responsible for some of this because he has blessed this kid. He's another,
We're in great hands with Trae and Zion and Ja.
Young King.
Yeah.
Can't control his tweets and, his social media.
I would do it again. I'm going to make it my business to do something to embarrass Trevor Ariza again.
If Trae Young had embarrassed LeBron like this, we would see the post-game courtside towel talk, the little towel.
No, stop it. Skip, they've got LeBron.
Yeah.
Hold on. Jaylen Brown dunked on him, so LeBron should have just undercut him. Yeah, is that what he should have done, Jenny? Because you don't dunk on no guy and embarrass me and hang on the rim.
Okay, but dunking on someone is part of basketball. It's an accepted way to show somebody up.
Dribbling.
This is unacceptable.
Dribbling is a part of basketball.
Hot dog.
Dribbling is a part of basketball.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the rim.
This is what the Globetrotters used to do to the Washington Generals, right?
Yeah.
Let's nutmeg them, and the Generals would just stand there like,
hold on. Do you remember LeBron? LeBron went between his leg, went behind his back, between, I think, Ben Simmons' leg, got the ball, and went to the rack. So what should Ben Simmons have done? It happens. You make it seem like every time that's what he does, Skip.
Okay, but I can make a case. LeBron has at least earned the right to do that occasionally. Just go win something first. Go show me something.
So let me ask you a question. So Patrick Mahomes throwing that no look, somebody should cheap shot him. Look where you're throwing the ball. When he throws that jump pass, somebody should cheap shot him. Stay on the ground.
2 years ago, Patrick Mahomes won the MVP of the NFL. That's pretty great. You're a made man. Okay, you did that.
He threw the no look.
Yeah.
Before he won the MVP.
Well, he was on his way to winning the MVP.
Well, who says Trae Young ain't on his way to winning an MVP?
You want to bet on that one?
Nah, they ain't got to bet nothing, Skip. I'm just saying. How do we know?
For a 19-44 team?
Skip, I'm not talking about this year. Did you think Allen Iverson was going to win the MVP?
Don't put this kid and Iverson in the same.
I'm just asking you a simple question, Skip.
Yeah. Did I think he was?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Loved him.
How you going to win the MVP with Shaq and Olajuwon and Jordan and Karl Malone at the apex?
Well,
stop it.
He's confident.
Yeah, I love that.
Not making friends along the way, but you gotta do it your way.
I thought you were old school.
So did I.
Conventional.
I am.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But you got to update, Skip.
Yeah, okay.
You got to have the old school. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have that new.
I'm with Skip on this one. I think it's a lot.
Jenny, but you're from the Midwest. I expect nothing from you. You expect the guy to dribble like this here all the way around.
Please hold. Yeah. I mean, just respect the game.
The weave.
Okay, listen. The Bob Cousy era and dribbling is over, Skip. And the Chuck Taylor's Jenny, I know that's over, okay?
I'm glad you guys didn't comment
I don't know.
on my
James
shot,
Harden, I think, just brought it back.
What about Pete Maravich? How many people did Pete Maravich embarrass? How many, Skip?
How? I mean, I watched him. I saw him live 5 times.
All he did was hot dog behind the back and held onto the ball and laid up.
I don't remember him nutmegging anybody. Maybe he did, but I don't remember it.
You know what?
He was backing it up because no one had ever seen anything like it.
We ain't never seen a guy that small be able to do what he doing.
Yeah, Maestro.
No mercy.
The Lakers were led by Anthony Davis's 37 points last night, but it was LeBron who stole the show. Just minutes into the third quarter, LeBron pulled up and drained a 36-foot three-pointer from the R inside the Lakers logo at half court. And after the game, LeBron said it's something he works on a lot. When asked if it was a good shot to take, Frank Vogel said, quote, "When it goes in, it's a good one. And if it doesn't go in, it's a bad one." It's easy coaching here.
Yeah, it is.
It's easy to say
don't
when
coach,
it goes in.
go ahead.
He does, Coach. Stop that.
There might be more to that. There might be more to that. Now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning.
Good morning.
In your opinion, LeBron taking 36-footers, good thing or bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. And I don't know exactly what Skip's going to say, but I think I know. The only potential downfall is if LeBron made this, or even a 26-footer, right? His go-to shot in the clutch. And I think he's too smart to do that. I want his go-to shot to be that post up, back down, fade away, turn around.
That when he hit on Jaylen Brown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do that on Kawhi.
How about wheel and attack the glass? How about that shot?
You can do that, but I think he's perfecting the fadeaway a little better. So I hope that becomes his go-to shot. We'll see this weekend. I can't wait till Sunday. But anyway, I think LeBron's too smart to just start settling for shots like this. Now, I love it for so many other reasons. One is the wow factor. I've been covering the game, you even longer than me, but 25 years. There's very few things that make me jump off my seat.
Fair.
Like, what? Like, it's usually if you dunk on somebody really well. LeBron's had some of those this year. But the 36-footer from the logo, when you see Trae do it, Trae Young, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, it's great then. But to see a 6'9", 260-pounder pull up like a regular jumper and do it, that is great for the wow factor. I'm also going to say this. And Skip, I believe Jordan is the GOAT. And there's very little, in my mind, realistically, that LeBron can do to surpass him. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In 10 to 15 years, when the millennials are controlling the narrative, when we're not controlling the narrative anymore, I think LeBron's going to be recognized as the GOAT because they're going to control the narrative. And things like this, even though this is a rarity, they will point to things like this and highlight. These will be highlights where they'll say, look at his range. He adapted to the game. He became a great shooter and things like that. And then I will say there is a little strategy to it in the playoffs or in a regular game, but let's say the playoffs. If teams, like say he hits 3 more before the end of the season, and teams really start to fear that he could do that.
Nobody's going to fear it, but go ahead.
They may have to pick you up higher, and that will open things up for Anthony Davis and space the floor even more. So, I love it. I thought it's tremendous.
Yeah, love it.
You think he's going to start shooting 5 of these a game?
Up for 2 for 13 for 3 playoff games. Thank you very much.
How fair would it be if Tom Brady had Lamar Jackson's speed? His ability to throw the football, his ability to read and react with Lamar Jackson's speed.
He doesn't need it.
Okay, then.
He's won 6 out of 9 Super Bowls.
LeBron James don't need to be able to hit a 40-foot jumper when you can come downhill better than anybody in the history of the game. But he got it. See, the difference is Tom Brady is never going to have Lamar Jackson's speed. But my guy can hit them jumpers like Logo Lillard. No, now he Logo LeBron. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, Skip Bayless, but we spend $700 billion a year on our military. And they don't have equipment that has this kind of range.
Really?
And this kind of accuracy.
Really?
And for $700 billion. And the Lakers got that for $35 million. And they got it for 2 more years.
Wow.
So, Skip Bayless, Ooh. So this is what I want to know. Because here's the thing. Let me tell you why LeBron's doing this. He keeps hearing everybody say, Giannis is the runaway MVP. Kawhi is the best player. Zion got next. Oh, Go Jackson said, bam, bam, bam. Sunday night and last night. Hey, y'all do know I'm here. Y'all having this conversation, and I'm right here. I ain't going anywhere. I told you, I'm still the GOAT. GOAT James. That's why he's doing it. Skip, look, if you plead black enough, and what is he supposed to do? You say, well, drive the ball. Skip, see, unlike Giannis can't do this. See, they build that forward up for LeBron. LeBron says, okay, stand back there.
This is really sick. And I mean sick bad. Is it my turn now?
It's yours.
I want to hear this.
Millennials, wake up! There's a shot in basketball called a free throw because it's free. It is an unguarded 15-foot shot. And LeBron says he's now working on his 40-foot shot, and he can't consistently make an unguarded shot from 15 feet, especially with the money on the line. That's what we're up against here, is that I had to sit and listen to LeBron after the game say, I'm working on all parts. I'm growing my game because I want to have no weaknesses.
Done.
He's a lousy free throw shooter. He's left thousands of points on the table over his career, cost his team because he's such a lousy free throw shooter. And now you're telling me he's perfecting a 40-foot shot that he might make 20% of if he's lucky. If he's lucky. It's a bad shot, especially for him, because he's not even a good three-point shooter. The numbers don't lie. They just scream no, no, no. And he's still doing that because of the wow factor. He's building his brand. And I give you that. He's great at that, especially if he can make a couple. If he can make a couple of more down the stretch.
He will.
It will blow away the internet because the internet just lives for that kind of shot. And I told this man earlier, the irony here is he shoots that shot with far more confidence than he shoots free throws. And that's the God's truth. He goes up into that shot because there's no pressure on that shot because he knows if he misses, nobody's going to hold him accountable. He's not going to get yanked from the game by Frank Vogel.
Might yell at him.
He won't yell at him. Stop it. And that's pretty to me. That was great form, and he shot it with conviction and with great strength because it's hard to shoot a jump shot from 40 feet or whatever it is from the logo. It's hard to even get
40.
it.
They keep saying 36.
I know, it's 36.
Right.
And the one in New Orleans looked farther than that one.
Okay, but it's just, I'm impressed you can even get it to the front of the rim, let alone over the rim from that far as a jump shot. And now, if you just step into it and shoot a running set shot, I got you. You know, that's not like Luka's shot, sort of a set shot from half court the other night and hit the front of the rim at the buzzer in Chicago. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's shooting that with confidence because there's no pressure. But just to frame this for all those millennials out there, just look what's happening right now. LeBron's at 35% from three. Remember, that doesn't count four. It only counts three, right? So he's 14 feet behind the three-point line. You can go put your toes all the way up to the edge of the line, and it still just counts.
What's the fun in that?
Okay, what's the fun in that? So remember, 50 players have attempted at least 300 threes so far this NBA season. 50. LeBron is fourth worst at 35%. And the guys below him are only one tick below him, and it's Josh Hart, who, by the way, went 1 for 9 last night in the home game, and Covington and Taurean Prince. You know, these are just guys who don't shoot the three very well, and that's his company as a three-point shooter. But then look at the free throws. He's at 69.3. So there are 23 who are high-volume free throw shooters, 300 or more free throws. He's fifth worst on that list because he's a lousy free throw shooter. So at practice, does he stay after and shoot 100 free throws? Yeah. Or does he stay after and shoot 100 logos? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I see, if he weren't working on the free throws, then I'd agree with you.
I don't know.
I think he's working on them. And I do agree with, look, we all know LeBron is a thinker. And sometimes when you're a thinker, you can overanalyze and get in your mind. I've talked to him about this in the past. He is able to hit incredible shots, oftentimes because you're not thinking, you just throw it up, reacting, kind of like you said. But I do think at the free throw line, it's I think it's in his head. When you get a shot like that,
you have to stop and you have to think about what's my routine. Am I going to step back before I shoot? How am I going to do it tonight? Okay. And he gets a little shaky-handed. And with that shot, that's pure.
Well, let me tell you what was shaky, Skip Bayless. On deep threes, by the league average, and this means you shoot 40 shots or more. In 2017-18, he was 23 of 44.
What's a deep three? What's considered a deep three?
I guess considering past 27, because the farthest is the arc is 27, yes.
Okay.
Skip, he was 23 of 42.
So what are we talking about, like 30 foot or more?
Yeah.
So he may shoot, he shoots deep threes better than the closer threes.
The higher degree of difficulty, the better he is.
Yeah.
That goes with my theory that he's not thinking with no pressure.
That's what, but see, that's what great Laganos. Anybody can do for you in the league, but when he was behind, you remember, Skip, when he hit his head? You remember when Greg Louganis hit his head, they're like, oh, it's over. His streak is over. Somebody's going to beat Greg Louganis in an Olympics. When the money get on the table.
It's impressive.
It's impressive.
It's impressive.
So all I know is I can't get out of my head the 2013 and 2014 NBA Finals in which the Bill Belichick of NBA coaches, Greg Popovich, is waving his defenders, literally waving them off LeBron. Just let him shoot the three. Let him shoot it. And, of course, it went all the way down to the last shot of Game 6, or so I thought, and he LeBricks it from three. And long rebound, Chris Bosh kicks it to Ray Allen, and you know the rest of the story.
He wasn't as good of a shooter back then, though. And I'm not saying he's a great shooter, but he's a better shooter now.
Why would you weaken your strength? Because he's still, to this moment, he's the greatest driver of the basketball I have ever seen, and he's still the best driver of the ball in the league today. And why wouldn't you just exploit that? He destroyed the Pelicans just low posting, and he made one fadeaway, but he made a bunch of spins and just...
Hold on, Skip Bayless. If you don't know... Hold on. You add. Popeyes could have been perfectly fine just making fried chicken. But they came with a chicken sandwich and it swept the nation.
Really?
So LeBron James could have been perfectly content driving the basketball crisp, but he added this shot, and now he unguardable.
He's showing, he's in his bag.
I thought you were going to talk about Popeye with spinach. I thought you were going to tell me Popeye added broccoli or something.
No.
Right?
You're talking about sandwich.
Now he added this?
Yeah.
Huh? You got it, Skip. You impressed.
Look, I dare him. If I'm coaching against him, I'm like, please shoot those. Just keep shooting them. That's his low percentage.
He's not going to shoot a lot.
Let Zion.
He's going to just when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Really?
Just all of a sudden out of the blue.
So you were off your feet. Like, what'd you do?
Wow. Like, it's
what'd you do?
Just remember, that shot put them up 14, so it wasn't like a high-pressure shot, but he shot it with 18 seconds left in the clock.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a clock shot.
There's something, Skip, there's something about a 5-yard touchdown versus that 70-yard bomb.
Yep.
They count the same. You know, a 27-foot three counts the same as a 40-foot three. But it's just something about it. Oh, it hurts. It cuts deep.
After he misses his next 5 in a row from the logo, there are going to be people on the bench going, maybe we should.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to hit another one. We're going to hit another one Friday night.
Really?
Yep.
And Sunday or just Friday?
I dare you. Please try it.
You don't think he'd do that against the Clippers?
Nope, I do not.
Oh, we got some.
Especially not in the fourth quarter if it's a close game.
Well, we'll be rested.
He wouldn't do that.
We're going to be rested in the fourth quarter. We're going to be rested in the fourth quarter.
It's a big one.
We're going to be rested.
Big
Really
one
want to bet on that?
We're going to be rested in the
Give
fourth
me
quarter.
10 right now.
Y'all favored.
Who says we're favored?
Oh, y'all got
Did we settle on a bet yet, or are we still?
Or no, we got to see if Montrez is going to be.
What I got to do? Hold on. Now, LeBron, it doesn't matter who he go, James, he should win this game. Now we worried about Trez Harrell.
He's my beast. He is. Come on.
Hey.
So not Kawhi and his beast. You see that, Chris?
Hey, we got a team. You got a duo. That's what we got.
Deep team.
Well, you see AD last night?
What it might come.
You see AD last night?
That's what I want to see. If AD can do that against the Clippers.
Okay, but he did it against the.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I got to see
Josh
it.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
That's
Chris,
what I'm watching.
Don't go far. We're going to have you back later in the show.
No mercy.
Before we get to the story, this is Tim Duncan's first season as a Spurs assistant coach, but last night he already got his first win as an acting head coach, with Greg Popovich missing the game due to personal business. Duncan guided the Spurs to a 1-point win over the Hornets, and afterwards, the big fundamental admitted that the other assistants made most of the calls, and he was, quote, the one standing there screaming at people. So, Skip, this is your team. Are you surprised that Duncan became Pop's top assistant this fast?
I am shocked on 2 levels. First of all, Tim Duncan never struck me as someone who wanted to come back and pay the dues and pay the price that it takes to become a head coach in the National Basketball Association. He seemed very content with his life. He's got the 2 kids he loves. He loves to spend time with. They're 14 and 12 now. To go back on the road for 41 games, sitting on the bench as an assistant with not enough input, not enough to do.
Right.
I thought there's no way he would want to pay that kind of price.
Right.
He runs an auto body shop where they restore classic cars, which is his love and passion and hobby. And he seems to really be enjoying his off-court life.
Sure.
And yet, not only does he come back, but all of a sudden, I'm shocked, he's being fast-tracked to look like...
Take over for Pop.
Maybe take over for Pop next year. It's starting to feel like that. And the other level I'm shocked on and disappointed on and by is the Becky Hammon level.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan. I've watched her closely. She's coached the Summer League teams very successfully.
I think they won a title, didn't they? Win Summer League title with her.
I like her.
And she's been offered jobs to coach women's college basketball, men's college basketball, but I just thought from the start, she's got what it takes to be the first female head coach in this league.
Right.
And she had earned her, so to speak, spurs to rise into the number 1 assistant's chair.
Right.
And I'm thinking, wait a second, you just passed her right by? And I thought Pop was her biggest champion.
Right. He is.
Right?
Right.
And so it just seemed like sort of public disrespect that when he got tossed earlier this year, right away, he pointed to Tim, you take over. I'm like, Becky should take over. At least let her get her feet a little bit wet. Let her have a shot here. And the one game on a back-to-back after they blew a game at home to Indiana and they're playing at Charlotte, that's a Becky game. Right. Just give it to Becky. It's okay. Just let her take one shot. It would help, solidify her, put her on the map.
Right.
If she had won that game last night, it would be a big
It would have done more. It would have been
right?
more for Becky than it did for Tim Duncan.
Absolutely.
Tim Duncan could get a job if Tim Duncan were to solicit and says, I want to be a head coach.
Right.
I don't really think he'll have a problem.
Okay.
His resume speaks for itself as a player, so he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. I think Becky Hammon has a tougher road. Obviously, Greg Popovich has put her in position, but she still has a tough road to follow. Skip, I agree with everything you said, because normally great coaches, great players don't want... Now, Bill Russell maybe is the exception, Skip, but he was playing and coaching. Once he got done, he wasn't out there coaching anymore. Yep. Larry Bird is also... Larry had a great run.
He had a great run. But that's coaching, that's the one. That's
but for the most part, Skip...
No.
Because great players... and when we say things come easy, it looks like it came easy, but they put a lot of work in. And then when they see players not able to do what they were able to do, they're like, why the hell you didn't do that? Because your name isn't Magic Johnson, and you're not Larry Bird. Yep. So that's why they couldn't do it.
Jerry West tried to coach, and it didn't work.
No. Skip, when you look at Tim Duncan, Tim Duncan, you can, there are certain positions that you really can't debate. I mean, when you get to centers, you debate, is it Will, is it Russell, is it Chamberlain? Kareem, excuse me. You get the shooting guard, it's Michael. When you come to power forwards, it's Timmy Duncan, and it's not even close. And there have been some great power forwards, Skip, but it ain't that guy. And that's it. And for him to say, you know what, I want to, like you said, I want in the big boy chair. And I think Pop's going to catch a lot of criticism, some of it warranted, Skip, because the thing is that, well, I thought Beckham was number 1 if number 2 in command if something happened to you. But Skip, this is not the presidency where the vice presidency automatically ascends if the president is incapacitated.
Apparently not.
This is coaching. Okay. And if I point to you and say, you take it over, you take it over.
Yeah. So now I'm suspecting maybe that Pop has told Tim, you're my successor.
Right.
And I need to fast track you. So every little chance I get, I need you to sit in the big boy chair this year, because it's highly possible he's going to walk into the sunset next year.
I mean, I'm looking at Tim like, Tim Duncan actually, Well, if we can call that coaching, but it doesn't even look. I mean, when I heard that Skip, he was coming back to be on the bench, I'm like,
that was surprising.
To do what? I can understand, like, sometimes guys come back and they work with the younger guys and the post-up players and things of that nature if you're a big guy. But, like, he going to be actually in meetings. He's going to be traveling and sitting on the bench and doing it. Huh?
Yeah. And he looks so uncomfortable on the bench because he's 7 feet tall, 6'11", probably. But he's scrunched up in one of those little seats next to Pop, and it's just kind of stuck there. And yet I have no idea how good he would be as a head coach because history would tell you it would be hard.
Well, it's going to be hard for him to be a better head coach than he was a player.
That's a fact.
So that's what. But Skip, when you look at it, Pop owed everything to Tim Duncan. Pop was slightly above 500
Totally agree.
Before Tim Duncan arrived, and now he's basically his 700 coach.
That's his Tom Brady.
Yes. What it is? There's a little bit of that.
Yeah, I think
remember,
so.
Pop used to just publicly vow, as soon as he walks out the door, I'm walking right behind him.
He did.
So maybe it's almost like a reversal of that concept where, okay, as soon as he walks back in the door, I'm leaving. Right?
And he was probably one of the last, Skip, that played 4 years. He stayed 4 years of college. Normally, when you're that good a talent, you ain't staying no 4 years. But he stayed 4, and boy, I mean, rookie of the year, he was a league MVP, a finals MVP.
I'll give him this. He was one of the greatest quiet leaders. Nobody really got it, but that team always followed him. And he did play absolutely the right way every single dribble. He was the big fundamental.
And the thing about it, Skip, he had to battle Shaq.
Yeah.
So he had to go get your 25, but you got to try to keep Shaq from getting 30 and 15.
Well, I got to tell you, he unsuccessful battled Shaq.
Man, look,
I saw him get ragdolled.
But Skip, ain't nobody do anything with Shaq.
Nobody could. For those 3 years, it was both Tim and David Robinson, and they neither had.
He just slinging everybody off him.
Just knocked them off.
Yeah. So ain't no shame to say, well, we didn't do anything. There's no shame because nobody did anything with Shaq. From the time Shaq got into the league until all of a sudden he started getting a little heavier. Started having knee and feet problems. Nobody could do anything with that. Shaq was 300 pounds and was agile.
I agree. So there's one other assistant sitting on that row right there named Will Hardy that nobody knows, but he's the Budenholzer. He's the one that they all say he's going to be the next star head coach. So he's waiting in the wings, and probably today he's not all that happy between him and Becky. They're probably both saying, and they're very close, like, what just happened?
I didn't realize she's been with them for 6 seasons as well. So, I mean, it's not like
that's paying dues.
Well, Tim and Duncan said I was with him for 20.
Happy for Tim if this is really what he wants, but also kind of want Becky to get the opportunity. So that's interesting. Interesting story there.
No mercy.
For the second straight month, LeBron was named the Western Conference Player of the Month. He is the first Laker to win the award in consecutive months since Kobe did it in the 2008-2009 season. So really, it's been a bit. So Chris, will this strengthen LeBron's MVP case, in your opinion?
Something's going on. All right. This will undoubtedly strengthen his case. Now, I've been outspoken. I think Giannis is the front runner.
Okay.
And look, if LeBron wins it, I'm not going to protest. I'm not going to cry foul because, look, 17 years in the league, he certainly, we can argue, deserves more than 4 MVPs.
Right.
And he's having a tremendous year.
So you're talking about it as a career achievement award?
Yeah. And they've done that before, But you may be right, Skip, that because it seems like over the last week or so, this MVP conversation has gotten louder and louder. And I've talked a lot about Giannis. I'm surprised at how much pushback I'm getting from people, not just media, but just regular fans, that how many people think LeBron is the MVP? And I do feel like this is an example. This is evidence that I think the league wants LeBron to win it.
I do too.
There's great story, obviously, his 17th year, the Kobe tragedy. I mean, there's so many great storylines around it. And I say that because here's why. LeBron was great this month. No question about it. Was he better than Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook averaged 33.7 rebounds, 6 assists, 55% shooting, and his team went 7-1 with him and beat better teams than the Lakers did. Lakers went 8-2. LeBron played great, but I think Westbrook had a better month. So now you can, by giving LeBron 2 straight, first guy since Kobe on the Lakers, I think that does build his case more. And then let's go to the East, the guy that's really his chief competition, Giannis. Giannis won the first 3 months, was the MVP or the player of the month in the East. Giannis this month had a great 28 points, 17 rebounds a game, still gets his 6 assists, 55% shooting. They go 9-0. Now, I know Jason Tatum was great, but he wasn't that great. His team went 9-3. You know, I could make Russell Westbrook. If Tatum could get it, why couldn't Westbrook? So I think that there is something going on where it's like, if Giannis wins Player of the Month every month, how's he not going to be the MVP? If LeBron was better in November, numbers-wise, and they went 14-1, the Lakers, and he didn't get Player of the Month. So I just think that there is beginning to be this groundswell. Now, the media, you know, it's 120-something voters, and I don't know where each guy will be, but it does seem like this story, even when LeBron was asked about it last week on national TV after a game, about the MVP award, it just seems like there's a groundswell for it.
Do you know for sure who votes on the months, the players?
I don't know that.
Because I think it's just generated by the league.
I agree. I think it's just the league. And
because that's the signal that says we want this to happen, right?
Because again, LeBron was great, but Russ?
Skip, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to say this. The league frowns upon load management. And Russ missed 3 games. And it seems like he missed those games.
And LeBron only missed, what, 1? I think, yeah. Okay.
So, go ahead, Skip, go ahead.
Fair.
You know
That's fair.
That is true. And quietly, Russ is load managing about like Kawhi does. But you rip Kawhi, but you don't rip Russ. Now you've realized Russ is doing it in the shadows, right?
Yeah. Almost. Yeah, not quite, but almost.
Is it?
Yep.
So when I looked hard at what Russ did last month versus LeBron, it was very close to me because Russ did not have a single triple-double. He's abandoned that strategy. So the assists and rebounds have fallen pretty dramatically in favor of just basket attacks that allowed him to average 33 points. And he's quit shooting threes because he took a grand total of 20 in 8 games. As you pointed out earlier, you take 20 in a game sometimes. I mean, that's just what he used to be. He used to just be firing from everywhere like crazy. So, to me, it's real close. And LeBron had 2 triple-doubles, so if we just go 2-0 on triple-doubles, I'm okay with LeBron. And I've told him, from my heart, LeBron is shockingly great this year. I did not see any of this coming. So it is a great story. He was, and he set it up with Washed King, #WashedKing. I thought it was
You set it up. You started it. You started it last year.
Okay. So, well, do you want me to show that
No.
blooper reel? My God.
You see what I'm saying, Chris?
But it was the all-time blooper reel. It was an embarrassment what happened to him. And every once in a while, he's got a glitch going on this year where he dribbles the ball in bounds. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't do that.
Oh, the one in Utah.
Out on his mind.
What about the one in Utah? He had the ball paused and just started walking and then dribbled to get it.
Wait, shoot, can't do that.
Okay.
Just a little moment.
So the point is that I'm good with this. I do think he's on his way to winning MVP. But I feel sorry for Giannis because if we just go on pure numbers, Giannis is having an historical run this year because you're first in PER, but you're on pace to set the all-time record for PER. That's the stat we all hang our hats on, right? Player efficiency rating. And right now, Giannis is still ranked #1 of all players in defensive efficiency rating. So he's most efficient on offense, best on defense. Wouldn't you just say that's just...
And they may win 70.
And they may win 70. And
But they won 60 last year. My guy couldn't even get the playoff. You remember my guy couldn't even get the season.
Your guy added AD, too.
But I still say, and you voted for Giannis last year, right?
Yes.
Okay, he left you with some egg on your face because he gets to the pinnacle, the Eastern Conference Finals, and he disappears for 4 straight games, and they lose 4 in a row after winning the first 2. And it kind of shamed the voters into saying, well, I don't want him to, I can't vote for him back-to-back because will he show me up in the playoffs again?
That's a rarity. You don't know guys that win back-to-back, they're supposed to be legendary.
Yeah.
There's been a lot, though. LeBron, Steve Nash, who's not
That's the one. That's the one. But LeBron
Shaq
is legendary.
should have won that second one.
Shaq should have won it. Bird. You start getting the guys, Jordan, you get guys that went back.
You don't think Giannis could end up, I mean, he's got to win, obviously, but he could end up being in that class.
He could be. He's off to a great start.
Okay, so I'm blessing LeBron. I just think It's storybook, storyline. It's the best narrative. He's going to win the MVP, and then we'll see what happens.
You think it's done? I don't think it's done.
But don't you feel the groundswell?
Yes, I do. But I don't know.
Chris, I told you. I said, Chris, I know you're not a gambling man, but go to Vegas and lay some money on this now. Didn't
you say it was going to be AD?
I said that.
And LeBron in the finals?
I thought there was going to be. I thought they would split the votes. But if you look at how well LeBron plays without AD, and you look at their record without AD, and the people are like, whoa.
Here's the thing. And look, LeBron's clearly their best player. But AD leads them in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks, and PER by like a good margin in PER.
By the way, LeBron is 10th in PER, so it's not like he's threatening Giannis at the top.
Right.
But AD has always been a PR king.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Because he can do so many things.
No question.
But old GOAT James, 14 assists with 3 turnovers last night, Skip. Is that good? It's almost a 5-to-1 turnover ratio.
Honestly, as great as he's always been at distributing, I think he's just getting better and better as a point guard.
Nope.
And I do like that they're late games, having him in the post. I want to see that Sunday, though.
Oh, you got that Sunday?
But you realize what the not-so-silver lining to all this is?
What?
Pretty soon the playoffs are going to start, and the pressure is going to go up for the new MVP, the washed king.
Skip, do you know how many times we
regains the throne, and then everybody's going to say, okay, do it.
Do you know how many times?
And it's announced around the conference finals, right?
Yeah. You do realize how many times we've gone through this?
True.
The adage is that pressure is what you feel when you don't know what the hell you're doing. My man has been doing this for 17.
Really?
He good at it.
Well, he's lost 6 finals.
But there you go. But he about to win this one, be 4 and 6.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, he's going to be top 5 in assists, number 1 in scoring, going to have all these. How can he not be the GOAT?
I'm wondering, how can he get by the team in the basement right now at Staples? How can he?
Team in the basement.
That team is serious business.
We serious. You know what? We're going to show you.
You're top heavy as you know what.
We don't worry about you. Right? But, hey. That's why we got 3 cases. We got 3 cases on this.
We got as many cases as you want on this. Not
Sunday.
Friday. Sunday. I'm talking about when the money's on the table.
So what happens if somebody knock y'all out before we even get a chance to bust y'all up?
Well, who's that somebody going to be?
Probably Houston, somebody.
Probably.
Because seemingly, y'all only can get up for the Lakers. That's what I noticed. You can only get up for the Lakers.
Yeah.
But what happens when you don't play the Lakers?
Yeah. Well, what happens when the Lakers can't get up for us?
Oh, we go do. Okay, Sunday will provide a glimpse, a small snippet, a summation.
I can't wait for the fourth quarter on Sunday because the first time they played in the fourth quarter, AD went 0. He got zonked in the fourth quarter.
He won't be 0 this time.
LeBron had 2.
I'm thinking LeBron gonna only play like 30 minutes because he'll be out. We're gonna be blowing him out.
And remember, in Game 2, which was on Christmas Day, the Lakers in a home game led by 7 with 6:39 left in the game, and LeBron and AD just disappeared, and Kawhi scored 9 points.
We different now. Hold on.
Really?
Man, I followed Kyle Kuzma last night, and I was looking for a tweet. Did he post anything? Because you remember Sunday he posted. You know, everybody they were mad at him because they couldn't beat him.
Right.
You know, he had 20. So I
hate me because they ain't.
Yeah. So I followed him. I was like, oh, I know he gonna tweet last night. He gonna tweet about them 7 points he got, right? I unfollowed him because he ain't had nothing on.
I don't think Kuzma's the enemy. You think Kuzma's the enemy?
I just don't know if he's universally loved by the group.
He come in there just gunning. Can you play some?
He got some work to do.
Can he look? Can he do something other than score? Because sometimes when it's not scoring, what makes these great players? They can do other things. He can only do one thing, which is score. He ain't trying. Skip. He's not even trying to play defense.
You've got the king and the PER king. King and PER king. That's it.
No, you need another one.
Good.
You said we need a third option.
I said you did, but you don't have one.
You don't have one.
Oh, no.
Now you're telling me.
Rotate. Sometimes it's going to be Danny Green.
Okay.
Avery Bradley's actually
Not
showing
bad.
some stuff.
Yeah.
KCP.
What about to the closer?
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma is the closer. That's what he told me all year. Kyle Kuzma is the closer.
I see
He been
you
closing
mean.
on the bench.
Yep. My team's got closers.
Oh,
I got Sweet
I
Lou.
cannot wait.
now he
Team in the basement is coming up. They're actually hosting.
They better
just
stay
you
healthy.
wait.
That's
Yeah.
the Clippers thing.
I'll knock on wood for you. Chris, thank you very much for joining us.
No mercy.
The only thing more surprising than the Celtics losing at home to the Nets last night was how it happened. The Nets put up 51 points in the fourth quarter alone to force overtime, and Caris LeVert dropped a career-high 51 himself. Brooklyn ended up outscoring the Celtics 11-2 in overtime to complete the comeback. Crazy. Shannon, did the Celtics get exposed last night?
Well, I don't know if they necessarily got exposed, but Caris LeVert was special, Skip. 37 points, 26 in the fourth quarter, all 11 in overtime. Skip, I've never seen anything like this. Because I was just basically like, okay, this game is over. You know, Skip, I'm watching a little bit here and now. I wanted to watch Jason Tatum. And then once I realized that he wasn't going to be playing, so I was just skimming back and forth. I was like, it's fourth quarter, it's over. And then I'm like, overtime? How did he get to overtime? I'm like, you gave up 51. Skip, I've never seen anybody give up 51. Now, you see it, teams get 40 in a quarter now like it's nothing. But 50 is still a big number to get in a quarter. And to get it in the fourth quarter, nah. And I understand Jason Tatum wasn't playing, but you cannot give up 51 points in the fourth quarter and lose this game if you're serious about that. And I get it's only a Tuesday night. But nah, this is a bad side. I don't think they could beat the Bucks. But Skip, this was an epic collapse by the Celtics.
Okay, I got it. But I lose no faith in a team that I didn't have a whole lot of faith in to start with.
Right.
It's a weird league because there's so much talent spread around the league. And Caris LeVert is pretty good.
Right.
Very quietly in the month of February. He had 37 on February 8th and then 34 on February 26th, even though he's only averaging 16 and 0.3,
Right.
16.3 going into last night.
Right.
He's capable of exploding if you let him get going.
Right.
And there's no Tatum. Marcus Smart was like out of sorts and kind of over the edge last night and fouled out and was fighting with everybody, pushing and shoving. And remember, Kemba had missed 5 games, and that was his first game back.
Right.
So it was a recipe for disaster, and the worst happened. Well, what happened to Denver at home last night? They got blown out at home by the worst team by far in pro basketball, Golden State, right?
Yep.
And you look around the league and you see these aberrations. What happened to the Pelicans last night? They give up 139 at home. Where did that come from?
Skip, you remember Dinwiddie, if I'm not mistaken, had 50 earlier this year. Kyrie's had a 50-piece earlier this year. Now, Caris LeVert. Remember, LeVert broke his ankle, had that gruesome injury last year, Skip, came back and played. So they have guys that can put the ball in the bucket. It's going to be very interesting when all these pieces come back next year.
Okay.
KD, Kyrie, Dinwiddie, Caris LeVert. Skip, that's a lot of scoring
There's
with one basketball.
Power on that team. I would agree with you. They just well might be the favorite going into next year. But if you step back from all this, you look at like my dynastic Spurs back in their heyday, 2013, 2014, they were notorious because they load managed in their heads.
Right.
They would come out on some Tuesday night at home and lose by 30.
Right.
Seriously. And I'd say, what are you doing?
Right.
Well, then they just flipped the switch back on.
But Skip, they would be out of the game. See, but Pop would know early on.
Yeah.
We don't have it tonight. So you're done. Right, he's just done.
Forget it.
Skip, you can't be up 17, 18 and then lose by giving up 51.
It's obviously not a good sign, and maybe it speaks to Jason Tatum's MVP caliber year that he's having, because they played like they had no confidence without him, right? On both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
But in the end, I'm not going to write them off because of this, because I didn't write them on.
Yeah, I didn't write them in to represent the East in the finals anyway.
Yep, weird league.
No mercy.
So, Shaq lost a bet to Dwayne Wade after the Heat beat the Bucks, and he had to pay up by growing his receding hairline out. Shaq showed off the new look on TNT's coverage last night, as well as posting videos of it to his Instagram. Shannon, your reaction when you saw this?
Only Shaq. Shaq is the biggest comedian kid in the world. In the world. First of all, Shaq ain't growing hair anymore. That's not hair. That's Beijing. That's
you don't think that was at all real?
No, because when he touched his head, see, I know, I got a little gray up there, but I ain't got that Beijing. That's all me. That's all me right there. That little salt and pepper flake right there, that's me, Skip.
Okay. Well, I thought it looked pretty good. Actually.
Yeah, I got a little something.
But you're saying it's not real.
No, that's not real.
Oh. So I've come to love Shaq a lot more
I do too.
after his career than during, because when you tried to interview him occasionally during his career, he could be like George Foreman was as a boxer,
Right.
you know, like he could be kind of glowering, menacing, you know, like the monster. And he is so much fun on this show. He doesn't take himself seriously.
Not at all.
But now that he's evolved into no longer a player, his insight is tremendous to me. He has a lot to say. He says it with an entertaining delivery, you know, where I get it, and he can be amusing. And yet, to me, he was yet another Giannis victim. Because remember, what started this was he thought Milwaukee would go in
by 20.
Win by 20. And Giannis stunk it up.
Yep.
Giannis went 6 of 18. And when Giannis was guarded by Bam, he went 1 for 10. So all of a sudden, Giannis looked like he got exposed by another team with a big man who could deal with him and keep him away from the basket, right?
Oh, you thought that was Shaq? You thought Shaq grew hair overnight. We considered he couldn't grow hair for the last 15 years.
Really?
But he gonna grow hair overnight.
Well, I don't know. You sure about that?
I 1,000 million
I
billion.
think you might hear from Shaq.
I probably will. But everybody knows what that is. In our community, we already know that,
it's
Beijing.
receding.
No. That's hair color.
Okay.
I mean, there's levels to it. I mean, you get blue, black, and you got like the rug. I don't want to say it because people like you were saying offensive, but it's a rug. They call that black. That's what more people use in
Really?
their hair. Yeah.
Well, that's LeBron.
No, see, there you go. This ain't got nothing to do with LeBron.
Bingo.
It got nothing to do with LeBron.
On that note, that is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.